Who do we blame? I don't know who we blame. Havertz, Arteta, the Cronkies, me as a fan. Who? Who do we blame for the situation we are in right now? I can talk about the game yesterday and how horrible it was and how I can't even. But there's such a bigger picture. There's a bigger picture to all of this. And interestingly, I went through some old tweets this morning of like my thoughts and feelings around Havertz, and I saw some old tweets that I reposted regarding the striking situation last year and my thoughts and opinions on the time frame that Arteta had to change this. So we're going to get into all of that. So hit that follow button. Like the page, because I'm going to make sure posting after every game and reviewing every game. But this was very bad. We're out of the FA Cup third round again. Arsenal won, Man United won. Man United win 5-3 on penalties, and they went down to 10 men, and they were down to 10 men for 60 minutes, and they played better as 10 men than I've ever seen us do as 10 men. When we went 10 men against Southampton, when we went 10 men against Brighton, when we went 10 men against Man City, every time I've seen us go 10 men this season, we have never looked like winning the game, or even when we get a chance like Martinelli did when we were 1-0 down at Southampton. He gets a chance to get to equalise, doesn't take the chance. Martinelli's been stinking all season, but this isn't necessarily about Martinelli. This is just about the fact, how did we let a team that's been floundering all season come to the Emirates and beat us, or not even beat us, just get through to the fourth round with 10 men? How did we do that? Well, Havertz missed another sitter from about 6 yards out, 2 sitters actually, from inside the penalty area. Declan Rice heads the ball straight at the keeper. Martin Odegaard missed the penalty. Havertz missed the penalty in the penalty shootout. And like I said, I can talk about yesterday's game. One of the most annoying things to me in yesterday's game, when Odegaard scores his penalty in a penalty shootout, and he's going like this to the fans. It doesn't make sense. Because at that point, I'm thinking, brother, you should have scored your penalty during the actual 90 minutes, and we wouldn't be in this position. So even that annoyed me more than anything. And then Arteta's comments about, do we need a striker? No, he needs to work with what he's got. That's what he said after the game yesterday. And I think it's interesting because he said a similar thing after the Liverpool game last season. And I'm going to read you what he said. He says, and I quote, he was asked the question, Mikel Arteta on signing a striker this month. At the moment, it doesn't look realistic. My job is to improve the players we have. That was after the Liverpool game last year when we lost 2-0 and when we knew we needed a striker. I'm going to put something else on the screen for you. On calls from supporters for us to sign a striker in January. What I beg the supporters is that they are behind the team that they've done in difficult moments. Stick with the ones we have. They are incredibly good. If not, they don't do what we've done again today in Anfield and here. Stick with them. It's exactly what they need, that we are fully behind them. Then they feel important and supported because they deserve it. With their attitude, they don't deserve anything different. That's my opinion. Is that your opinion? And is that your same opinion this year on whether the Jesus injury and lack of goals have changed his mindset on transfers? Did you hear that? He was asked a question on whether the Jesus injury and lack of goals have changed his mindset on transfers. One thing is what we need. One thing is what we can do as well. And what we need to do now is stay behind those players. Give them support, love, train them, and make sure they visualize something different to what is actually happening right now. They've done it. We're not going to invent or reinvent the wheel because they have done it. Listen. One thing is what we need. One thing is what we can do as well. And what we need to do is stay behind those players. So he told us what we needed. got that. What can we do, Mikel? What can we do? What could we have done last January? What could we do this January? That's my question. Because there's too many excuses saying we could. We have to believe this. We have to believe that. We've been believing that. We've been believing this, that, and the other. Now we need action. Because as you can see, we aren't scoring goals. These players aren't clinical. They're not clinical at all. So what we're going to do? Wait another year. We ain't waiting another year. Fans are not going to wait another year. Look at this. Look at this. Can you see this? Havertz, why? How many chances, lads? Arsenal, everyone has played well except you haven't put the ball in the back of the net. Do me a favour, I beg. Does that sound familiar? Does that sound familiar? Does that sound like something familiar? Almost a year to the day, a year and a week to the day. Same situation, missed chances, Havertz again. I'm going to take you back a year before that. Summer transfer window of 2023. So far today from reports, Arsenal's 80 million Rice bid rejected, yet they know West Ham want 95 million. Sharks are lurking and it seems we aren't in for Caicedo. Currently frustrated, Havertz isn't a deal I'd be focusing on right now. And the last thing I will say on top of that, I will post this again because I only read the actual tweet. I didn't read what I quoted. Arteta, this is your you must moment. These next 16 months, you must. We are in January. So that was 12 months ago. I said that 12 months ago. So he has 4 months left to rectify this, in my opinion. Otherwise, it gets dark. So the question is, who do we blame? Do we blame Havertz? Do we blame Arteta? Do we blame me? Do we blame the Cronkies? I blame Havertz for yesterday. I blame Havertz for a lot of things. But if I'm going to blame Havertz, I have to blame Arteta because he chased him in that 2023 January transfer window, summer transfer window. He chased him. Oh, someone was wondering, like, why do you want to sign Havertz for? This doesn't make sense. But then again, who brings Arteta to the club? The Cronkies. The Cronkies wanted Arteta at the time. And which fan wanted Arteta when Arsene Wenger was leaving and we wanted a reset? Me. I was the silly boy that wanted a reset. Clear everything out. Clear everything out, reset it, something fresh, let it come in. Because I was just like, this is stale. This is so stale. So even when we signed Unai Emery, if you remember, we were still linked with Arteta at the time. We were actually linked with Arteta at the time, but we didn't sign it because we didn't think it was ready. Then we signed in there were years after that. Now he did change around the club and bring a light back to us. Yes, he did. But right now it's dark. And how can it be dark? We're second in the league, but we're out of the FA Cup at the third round again. We're probably about to go out of the Carabao Cup semi-final to Newcastle. And are we going to win the Champions League? You tell me. Someone tell me, because I don't know. I don't think so. I said a couple months ago, I'm going to find the video, I'm going to tag it. I said, forget about the league. I said, we've got to focus on other cup competitions. I said, Champions League, FA Cup, Carabao Cup. We're out of the FA Cup. We're about to go out the Carabao Cup and got the Champions League. Is that it? Is this what we've come to? It's dark. It's dark. And I don't know where we go from here. I'll preview the Tottenham game tomorrow. But yeah, love and guidance, people. Peace.